Claudine Plessa, and I'm privileged to lead this celebration of Julie's life today. Before I begin, I would like to pass my sincerest condolences to all of you, but mostly to Julie's beloved father, Bill, and Rob, Julie's husband, soulmate, and partner in crime for over 20 years. I'm confident that Julie is with her mother, Marina, and I'm also pretty sure that Rob's father, Rudy, is stealing her attention up there and cracking her up at any chance he can get. For the past 3 months, Julie has been on my mind and in my prayers daily. Although I only met her once, I have come to know her through the stories from Rob, his sister Kathy, and her lifetime friend Roxanne, but also through the looks of love on the faces of those in attendance at their wedding. From the first time I spoke with Kathy on the phone, as she struggled through her tears to tell me about the couple and communicate the vision for their wedding ceremony, I knew that Julie was someone exceptional. So I'm honored that Julie and Rob wanted me to be here today, and also grateful that technology has allowed us to share this day with those who could not be here physically to honor her memory. When Rob called me after Julie's passing, it became clear that it was my responsibility to deliver the message in the way Julie would want, with humor. I know full well that if I don't adhere to her guidelines and expectations, that she'll make sure I hit every red light or a possum on the way home. Knowing what I know about the lady who is also known as Mother Nature, I'm pretty sure she's going to opt to spare the possum. Now, I ain't no Lucille Ball or Carol Burnett, but I'm going to do my best to lighten the mood where I can today. I hope you will all indulge me in telling a story that I hope will not make those of you standing here on this crisp December day wish that you had chosen the live stream option. And I also hope that you dressed in warm layers. 4 days before Julie passed, she came to my mind as I drove along the country roads surrounding my home. I looked across the open fields around me and watched the various livestock grazing peacefully. I took a breath and smiled at the surroundings surrounding me. That was when Julie popped in. My exact thoughts in that moment were, during this pandemic, people have lost perspective. They complain about trivial things like not being able to buy a latte, but yet others are struggling to keep a roof over their head, or like Julie, fighting for their life. During that drive, I said a prayer for Julie. was it because Pope Paul VI, and I mean no disrespect when I say this, but he looked like Mr. Bean. Regardless of what her goal was, in that moment, Julie made me laugh out loud. But none of those hit home to me. So I had to keep my thinking cap firmly on my noggin. 12:20 of 12:20. My mind was racing and Julie wasn't going to let me sleep until I solved the mystery. Then it came to me. Numbers. It had to be numbers. December 20th, 2020 equals 9. 9 symbolizes love and faith, but also conveys the meaning of finality. 12:20 in the afternoon equals 5. 5 is the number representing humanity. 9 plus 5 equals 14, which equals 5. 5 was the key. I knew it. So I dug deeper, and then it became so clear to me that that was Julie's message. She was the guardian angel number 5. Kind of like Mambo number 5, but without the catchy tune to go with it. The number 5 has many facts associated with it. The first and foremost is that Julie's birth date equals 5. 5 is considered the number for marriage, which also means the marriage between earth and heaven. The Mayans considered 5 as being the symbol of perfection and grace. That's Julie. In tarot, 5 is a symbol of harmony and peace. Again, Julie. And of course, stomach bumping is considered an alternative to a high five. So what does all of this mean? It means that Julie lived with purpose and passed on with purpose. She embodied the traits of grace, humility, respect, love, and humor. When someone is faced with their own mortality, they know they have nothing to lose, so they put their own feelings aside to honor their survivors. Julie fought and hung on for all of you, not for her. It would have been easy for her to wash her hands of the whole thing and say, "Let me at that giant buffet in the sky, I'm not counting calories anymore." But she didn't. She fought so that she could give all of you as much time as you needed to prepare for the void she would inevitably leave. She fought the fight and hung on as long as she did because she knew that she would take a piece of each and every one of you with her, so she needed to make sure you were left with a piece of her beyond the usual memories. There is not a single person here who doesn't know Julie better than me. And I'm pretty confident that you would all have similar things to say about who she was and how she positively impacted your life. Since you have me at a disadvantage, I made sure to have Julie's photo up as I wrote this. My hope was to be inspired by the light in her eyes and the smile on her face. During times of remembering our loved ones who have passed, many speak of their dash, the space of time between their birth and death. They reflect on that individual's accomplishments while on earth or how they carried themselves. Julie's dash is a very easy one to sum up. She lived a life of kindness, love, and laughter. Always laughter. Julie sucked the life out of life with each day and always left people glad for knowing her or having crossed paths. I wish more people lived a deliberate life like Julie. So what is the legacy that Julie left behind? The embodiment of her legacy stands here with us today. Rob is a representation of the legacy that she leaves, the legacy of a strong and respectful marriage. Laughter and family were two very important things to Julie, but the most important thing to Julie, and I shouldn't say thing, I should say person, this man right here. Her best friend, her lover, her confidant, her person. And to quote the incomparable Phoebe Buffet, he's her lobster. Julie and Rob had what so many people envy told me and Roxanne that she had been fine up until that point, but now she was shaking like crazy. Was it cold feet? No. Was it the realization that soon she would be stuck with this guy here? Yes? No? Maybe? Was it true love? Yes. Yes, it certainly was true love. After more than 20 years together, Rob still gave Julie feelings. In the coming days, those of you here or there who have a significant other may feel guilty for showing your affection for each other in front of Rob. That's actually the opposite of how you should feel. Displaying your love and respect for each other will honor Julie's legacy. It will show Rob that you recognize the blessing that you have and that you won't take each other for granted. Neither Julie nor Rob want you to mourn their loss. They want you to look at them as your example of how couples, or people in general, should treat one another. Rob, when you feel as though you're having trouble breathing, that's Julie. She's sitting square on your chest with a Cheshire Cat grin on her face to remind you that she's still with you. So when that happens, take a deep breath and let her know that her bony butt is sticking into your ribcage and that she simply needs to stand at your side and support you when you feel you're weak. I know that all of you are concerned for Rob, but I need to give you some advice so that you don't handle his loss improperly. First off, don't wait for him to ask for help. He's a proud, stubborn guy. Just get all up in there and remind him that you are a part of his tribe. One of the very special things about Rob and Julie's relationship was that no topic was taboo. There was nothing those two didn't talk about openly. So when it came to the topic surrounding Julie's imminent departure, Julie wanted to make sure that he didn't step out of line. Julie made it clear to Rob that if he misbehaved after she was gone, she would come back to haunt him. Rob did not take that as a threat, but instead as a challenge. He told Julie that he would make sure to misbehave so that she'd always have to be around. So if you see Rob running with scissors, sticking his tongue on metal signposts in the winter, opening umbrellas indoors, or walking through the neighbor's yard stark naked, please don't be concerned. And please, whatever you do, don't interfere. He's just making sure that Julie stays close. The pain, ache, that is left in your hearts is also Julie's legacy. What an absolute blessing that someone can have such a profound effect on another after their passing. If I can leave a fraction of the pain that Julie has left to those who remain here without her, then I can honestly say that I lived and loved the right way. What a shame it must be for when someone leaves this earth and they do not leave a void like Julie has. So today, on the 5th day of Christmas, my hope is that before long your tears of sorrow turn to unapologetic tears of laughter as you remember and share your memories of such a brilliant soul. And instead of giving 5 golden rings on this 5th day of Christmas, I would like to leave you with 5 golden rules to live by to honor Julie's legacy. Be grateful, be humble, be kind, be silly, and laugh to be lighthearted. Her legacy is that of kindness, unconditional love, laughter, and of course stomach bumps. Each experience we have on this earth is an opportunity to learn and grow. Death of a loved one is one of those experiences. How you will learn and grow from Julie's passing? Will you put negative situations into perspective and be grateful for being able to experience them? Or will you allow yourself to be dragged down by it? I can almost picture Julie giving you the stank eye if you choose the latter. With every ache, pain, flat tire, or Monday morning at work, be grateful that you can still experience that. Laugh poem is called She Is Gone. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday.